What's good, you guys? It's your girl Dira, and welcome back to Dira. Today I have another photo shoot, and I am about to get my makeup done with one of my chicken nuggets from a previous life. Come on in. This is my girl Kai. She's doing my makeup today, so we're gonna get it done, and I'll come back in a little bit. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, it's better. It's just weird for you to look.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ooh, I like this. Come on now.
Hey guys, so this photo shoot was my Afro Futuristic inspired photo shoot. So I wanted to just come in and show you some behind the scenes of me getting my makeup done by one of my previous coworkers who I used to work with maybe 8 or so years ago. And then I wanted to just chat about something. So today I really just wanted to chat about how motherhood didn't erase me, it expanded me. And I felt like this photo shoot really was a testimony to that. It was a reminder to the fact that, I'm evolving, I'm expanding, and just because I'm a mom doesn't mean that Nadira isn't still present and the parts of me before motherhood aren't still present. So this shoot is somewhat like a love letter to the version of me that existed before motherhood and the version of me, like I said, that's evolving now. I do still have days where I miss the version of me, before motherhood, but I realized, she never left. She just got deeper. She sees life differently. She's experienced different things. She appreciates life more. And my values are a little different, but she's still present. And I think that nowadays we make mention of how sometimes motherhood can make you feel invisible, but I don't think we necessarily are transparent on exactly what what that means, what it really means. So sometimes for me the routine of life replaces like my will to dream. I feel like sometimes I get so intentional about things that I'm setting up for my son, things that I want to do for him, the way that I want our life to operate, that I just replace the dreams that I once had with everyday routine. And, sometimes that happens. Like sometimes the routine of life can replace your dreams if you're not intentional. And so, what I'm continuing to learn is that when I make time for my passions, and I come back to my child after, creating, or maybe it's modeling, a photo shoot, whatever the case may be, when I come back to my son, I'm able to be more present. I'm able to, feel more alive and feel more whole and not just feel like mom existing, amongst the mundane routine sometimes, because again, we want to feel alive. We want to feel present. We want to experience all of this, and granted there are moments where it's just not going to be that way, and I can accept that. But there has to be moments where we do experience being whole. We do experience um feeling more alive because we're catering to someone else 24/7. So, I think it's just really important for other moms, but like I said, this is a reflection of my own thoughts, for me to be able to do things creatively with other people, with other moms, people who aren't moms, just people in general, and be able to just have that moment to like pour into something that really sets my soul on fire, sets my heart on fire, and I have a passion about. And modeling, taking pictures, the creative aspect of putting together a photo shoot, it really and truly like lights up my life. And I don't know if I would be as positive or in such great spirits if I wasn't able to do so. So, you just have to find those things. Like, moms, I encourage you, things that you loved to do before you had children, tap back into them. Now, some of them may not align, anymore with your lifestyle and, truly with the person that you are now, because we do grow out of things. But I do believe that a lot of the things that influenced us, a lot of the things that gave us those moments of joy, like, they matter. They really matter. It really makes a difference if you're able to do it on a consistent basis. Now, granted, I can't just go out and meet other creatives and just be doing photo shoots 24/7. That's just not happening. But I can be more intentional with setting time to, hey, I haven't done a shoot at all this month. Let me look into that. You know what I mean? Like, at least trying to do it once a month, once every other month, just to keep that flow, keep that creative flow going, keep that creative energy, just all that to continuously pour into my cup, because as we know, we can't pour from an empty cup. And the moments where we are trying to pour from an empty cup is where we become burnt out, where we may become short tempered, we may become triggered, we become, our favorite word of 2024, 2025, overstimulated. Like, these are real feelings, these are real things. And you know I just feel like we need to validate, yes, those are real things, but what can we ourselves do, to make sure that that's not what we're living in. That's not the feelings that we're living in. That, yes, we may experience those things. We may have moments where, I am burnt out. I need a refresher. I need a vacation, a break, whatever it is that you need to refill your cup. Like, sis, do that. And this is something that I have to constantly remind myself, because I am definitely the person who will just keep the train going, like, without making a stop, without refueling, like, you know what I mean? And we all know that that's not a way to live. That's not a way to live. And especially for a single mom, when I have to, I have to position myself to, seek help from others and ask for help, but now I have to make sure that, like, my both ends of my candle are not burnt out. Like, I need to be able to pull from something. You know what I mean? So this photo shoot was one of those moments. Like, I was approached by the photographer on this idea. And if you followed me, or if you know me personally, you know if you know me at all, then like, I've done many different photo shoots over the past 8 years. This photo shoot was a little different for me because I had to tap into something I've never created before. I've never, exuded before. And so, I was worried about it going into it. I was very stressed. I was very anxious, but I had to realize, like, this is not the first time that you've done something that you're new to. Hello, motherhood. Like, there are multiple things that I've put myself into that I can do. Like, you can do anything. But if you know that it brings joy to you, like, don't let the fear of, whether or not you're going to execute it the way you think stop you from trying it altogether at all. So, yeah, that was pretty much, that's my riff on that one. Because sometimes, I'm going to be honest, I feel guilty for wanting space and being a mom. But I had to realize it's not selfish. It's actually somewhat sacred. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anytime I create, it's not just for me. I feel like every woman or mom that follows me, I think you guys have come accustomed to know that I do this for all of us. I do this for every mom who's wondering if she still has it. I'm here to tell you, like, sis, you do. You never lost it. You never lost it. You may have tucked it away. You may have shied away from it. You may have, um, forgot about it a little bit, but ultimately, like, it's still within you. You are more than capable of doing it. And I'm here to just influence and motivate you to not give up and to take that time, like, to really do that. So, this creative moment, as you can see, we are behind the scenes at the actual photo shoot with the photographer, and he's just giving me some, pointers and little things. He did have a list of like different poses that he wanted me to try out. So that's what we're doing in this video. But back to my conversation. This creative moment really reminded me that my gifts didn't disappear when I became a mom. If anything, motherhood made my purpose like more powerful, because now I feel like I'm tapped into different like avenues of my creativity. Like, I don't think, not saying I was one dimensional before, but I do believe like it's opened up my vision, to creating like different concepts, different, extensions of the concept, and just being able to like have the freedom to do and express yourself however you want artistically. I feel like I'm constantly being reminded, um when I do create, like, who I am, who is Nadira, what do I love and why my light matters. And I think that because I continue to create, it's pretty much helping me like resonate all of that on and off camera. Because as you guys know, I work out daily. And so with working out, being physically fit and just really dedicating the time to really do something that I love. Like, I'm just watching myself progress and just be a better version of myself. It just makes room for so much. Honestly, because your cup is full. Like, you're not it's you can see more positive in life when your cup is full. So, yeah, like, get out there and do it. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I definitely have to constantly. And when I say constantly, like, this is like every 2 weeks, because as we know, I feel like women, we're only normal and I'm putting heavy quotes on that. We're only normal for about 2 weeks of the month. You know what I mean? We go through the premenstrual, then we get the menstrual, then we get the, you know what I mean? So we go through all these phases. And I think during those times, a lot of times, we're in our head. We are trying to balance so many things. And then once you're a mom, you're balancing even more. It's just like, where do I, where do I start? Like, how do I, how do I gain a hold of my life in a way that empowers me, and that's hard. That's really hard. Again, I do think, your tribe and who you have around you, your partners, your friends, your sisters, your brothers, whoever is in your corner, that makes a difference as well. That contributes to it as well. And you being able to do the things that you love. But ultimately, just being able to take some time for you, separate yourself from motherhood for a moment, just for a moment, because you're always going to be a mom. You're always going to be a mom. You're always going to be a mom. You're going to be a mom even after your kids are no longer children's, and so you have to just be able to really just see what who, not what, who you are now. Like, who are you? How do you identify with yourself? What do you want yourself to, identify as far as, you know, things that you like to do? Like, if you don't like the same things that you liked before motherhood, that's totally okay. Because there's plenty of things that I can think about that, don't interest me anymore. Like, I have no interest in it. I have no, desire to get back into those things, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. Do away with it. Like, let yourself be free of it. It's okay. Find something else that sets you, set your desires and your soul on fire. But I wanted to just real quick, you know talk about how important it is as well recommitting to yourself multiple times over and over and over again. We get into so many things amongst life that takes us away from ourselves or brings us a little further away from self-identity, that I feel like you have to be disciplined enough to recommit to yourself in every aspect, mentally, physically, and emotionally, spiritually, every facet. So you have to remind yourself you're allowed to create, you're allowed to shine, you're allowed to want more. Like, it's okay. It's not a bad thing if you want more out of life, if you want more for yourself, if you want more for your situation, if you want more out of motherhood, partnership, whatever it is okay to want that. And sometimes, it's not necessarily, or I won't say necessarily, it is about it, but it's not always about having support as much as it's about being your own hype woman. Because when you follow through on the things that set your soul on fire, it fuels everything else. You'll parent better, you'll feel better. You'll remember that you are still that girl. You're still her, period, point blank. So, if you're watching this and you're feeling like pieces of you have been lost in motherhood, hear me out when I tell you, you're not lost. You're layered. You're evolving. You have so much potential. And as long as you keep telling yourself these things, you will show up in that way. You will manifest and you will actively move towards a better life, towards better feelings, towards a better identity, towards everything. Everything will just be better. Now, granted, life is hard. Motherhood is hard as hell. And, there are times where we're going to be down and out. There are times where we're going to be like, I'm getting my ASS kicked, but you can make it out of there. Like, you can make it out of there. You can keep hope, you can keep pushing, and you have every right to keep showing up for the woman inside of you. The woman inside of that mom that shows up every day for her children, for her spouse. You are worth it, and you have every right to keep showing up. So, yeah, I hope you resonate with this, and I hope you allow yourself to get what you deserve. And even if it's not creatively, give yourself the grace that you need to be the best version of you. Period, point blank. All right, guys, that is it. We are wrapped. I have finished the shoot. There we go. So this was definitely something brand new, but it was a great experience. I got to work with a really cool photographer. Our vision came to life. And check out my Instagram if you want to see the final edits and pictures. But until then, keep peace. Signing out.